Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. We're going to be quick about this because the new Forbidden and Limited list for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel has just dropped. I'm talking quickly because I just wanted to jump in because it's a doozy! Let's talk about the first and foremost Forbidden cards. Hooray! Cards have been banned. First and foremost, Corruptor Ibli, banned. Great. No more Nightmare Corruptor Ibli being put onto your side of the field multiple times through the Ibli, or not Ibli, the Yubel end board, so that's pretty nice. Now you don't have to deal with having to only be able to go into Link monsters, which probably shuts down your entire plays. Jowgen the Spiritualist is also banned for the branded lock, which was being used in Voiceless Voice, as well as branded, obviously, going to, with Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. Albion, right? Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon, giving you a Albaz and giving them the Jowgen to just shut you down and out of the game. I would have preferred to see Verte here, or actually, let's be honest, Sanctifier Dragon. I think that is very clearly the issue, but Jowgen is a good inclusion as well, because Jowgen also hits the stun decks a little bit, getting rid of one of their options to just prevent you from playing the game. And then Rhino. Now, I don't understand this one. Rhino ban doesn't realistically do anything to tier. Like, in theory, it technically does, but it's a one-of that doesn't really come up all that often. It does come up occasionally, right? And in 60-card lists where you're able to, activate grass, yeah, it does matter because now you can't utilize the other trap, the Crystal Beast trap more effectively. Like, you can't use that one as effectively to search out Rhino to get your tier limit plays online. But for the most part, this doesn't actually change anything. It just changes consistency for the most part. I guess it now makes it so that you have less plays to, like, out back row, like floodgates and stuff. So that's a little annoying. But again, for the most part, this doesn't actually change anything. The correct hit is just banning tier. Banning Kit Kalos. If you want tier to not be a top tier strategy, the only thing that we have seen work is straight up just banning banning Kit Kalos specifically. Everything else just hasn't worked, as we've seen throughout Master Duel, right? Tier has been meta for basically 2 years now, and that's kind of the only way to do it. So, bit goofy, but it's fine. It's still a good hit, right? It still is a substantial limitation to tier limit. Moving on, we have some limitations. We have Poplar going to 1, which is quite substantial, mostly due to the fact that now, if you draw the Poplar, that is a hard brick, and you are either going to have to normal summon that, or special summon that through other means, not just being able to search it, which does matter quite significantly. And it is a substantial hit to Snake Eye builds just in general, because, again, limiting some of those initial playmaking plays, or playmaking options does matter. Now you might have to play multiple Oaks or a Birch or something along those lines to kind of facilitate those. However, it's not enough by itself to realistically kick Snake Eye out of the metagame. However, with that being said, I don't think Snake Eye is so dominant that it really needed that big of a hit. It would be nice to see Flomberg banned. I think Flomberg is very clearly the issue. Being able to reborn 2 guys would have been, that just is a way to play around things like Nibiru, and is just very clearly the biggest issue. But with that being said, Snake Eye is still fairly nerfed. And then Fossil Dino Pachycephalo, finally, I don't know why this card is limited to 1 and not just straight up banned. I don't know why that, yeah, I just don't know why. This has the same problems that things like Jowgen and the other barrier statues as well have. At least the barrier statues are at least reasonable. This is just a better version of those barrier statues, so I would like to see it just straight up banned. Yeah, it's just not a fun, engaging card to deal with. Things like Rhino have some counterplay. Things like the barrier statues have counterplay, right? If they normal summon the Earth barrier statue, at the very least you're still able to special summon some of the Earth monsters, which maybe not every deck has them, but at the very least some decks will, so there's that. Fossil Dino Pachycephalo just doesn't have any sort of downside for stun specifically. So, bit goofy as to why it's even at 1, similar to a bunch of the other floodgates. Going into semi-limitations, we have Avatar Kirin going to 2. cool. I think that's fine. It doesn't really kill Fire King. It doesn't really kill Snake Eye. I think it's fine. You're still able to play the Fire King Snake Eye, even with the Poplar limited to 1, but it will be some sort of nerf overall. Phantom of Yubel going to 2. Honestly, should just go to 1, but it's fine. It going to 2 means that eventually it will probably go to 1 and then to 0, which is great. Yubel was probably the best deck. It was the best deck, I would say, or best performing at the very least, with the Ibly Lock in particular in the Duelist Cup, but Fire King Snake Eye was just as prevalent, so there's that. We have Gold Sark coming from 1 to 2. This doesn't really change too much. Mostly it's going to be a boon to Thunder Dragon. I almost said Thunder King. Thunder Dragon and Branded. You could also potentially use it in Flunder as like an additional way to get more guys, so there's that, but for the most part, it's not much. We have Dark Beckoning Beast and Opening of the Spirit Gates also going to 2 to limit a little bit more of that Yubel deck. Just to make it a little bit more inconsistent, make it not able to quite make those same end boards as consistently, and make it more susceptible to hand traps. I think this is a fine limitation. I would have liked to have seen just Opening just go to 1. I think that was very clearly the issue. So there's that. But for the most part, it does what it's supposed to do. Then we have some Unlimits. We have Thunder Dragon Colossus coming from 1 to 3. That's fine. Change of Heart also going to 3. Water Enchantress going to 3. All of these are fine changes. Eradicator Epidemic Virus is going to 3 as well. I don't think anyone was ever playing this at 3 prior to the limitation. And then they limited it to 1, which changed nothing. And they never banned it. If they would have banned it, I think this would have been fine, but yet no one was playing this. And then Chaos Space is going to 3. Fantastic. Dragon Link got a pretty big boost. You could also play Thunder Dragon now with the Dragon Link stuff a little bit more consistently with the Gold Sark and with Chaos Space specifically going back to 3. That is a massive boon. Just in general, that is one of the best cards in that attack, and it's pretty cool. I think it's one of the cooler cards. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The top decks got nerfed a little, but not enough to really like kick them out of the metagame. But most notably, I think they are now more in line with a bunch of other decks, right? Things like Rescue Ace, things like Voiceless Voice, things like Sprite, things like Branded, all pretty much all in that same tier. Nothing has really changed too much for the metagame, though. I would say Yubel is maybe not the best deck, and Fire King is maybe not the best deck, but that's a maybe. But all in all, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, yeah. Let me know down below what you guys think of this ban list. I think it's pretty good. It's one of the best ban lists we've had in Master Duel. Pearl and Rhino is probably my least favorite hit. I don't know why this isn't just Kit. I love Tier, and even I'm like, why did we not just ban Kit? That's very clearly the issue. Or Grass. Grass would have been a nice hit, but yeah, obviously there are more things that I would have liked to have changed, but all in all, these are great additions and some pretty solid changes. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.